Hey guys! Okay, we're back with another video. Today I wanted to do something a little more productive. I am going to be influencing and also de-influencing you from certain products from the Sephora sale. Now I am VIB Rouge. That just tells you exactly how much money I spend at Sephora yearly. Too much. And I bought a lot of products that don't really work for me and I don't really think are worth the money. So today we're going to talk about some products that I really do recommend from Sephora and some that I really do not. So I tried my best to organize everything. It's all sitting on my bed in front of me. So I'm going to do makeup first. We're going to start with like base products. We're going to work our way through like the makeup routine all the way until body care, perfume, skincare, and then at the end we'll do the things that I really don't like. Now throughout the process, if I'm like on blushes and I remember a blush that I really don't recommend, then I will mention it, but I'm going to try my best to do the things that I don't like at the end. But there might be some in the middle, so you gotta watch the whole video, girls. Okay, so I want to start off with base products. So of course, to apply your makeup base, you are going to need brushes. I did touch on some of these brushes in my last makeup video. These ones are the Hourglass brushes. I have the foundation and the concealer brush. Both are really good and I think are worth the money, honestly. They make my makeup go on so much smoother than any other brushes I've tried. I've tried beauty blenders, I've tried cheap brushes, I've tried other like high-end brushes, I've tried Sephora brushes. These are the best ones I've tried so far. Now I've only tried the foundation and concealer brush from them. I haven't tried any of their other brushes, so I don't know if they're good, but these two for sure are worth it. Then I have my Morphe brushes next. The ones that I have a lot more than this. It came in like a big set. It's the Morphe and L'Oreal collab. I'm looking on the Sephora website right now. I don't think they have these exact brushes anymore, but I'm pretty sure they're all kind of made the same. They have a bunch of other Morphe like brush sets that you can buy. I'm seeing this like 5-piece brush set here. I feel like this one's kind of similar to the set that I have, except mine came with a lot more eye brushes, but really good quality brushes. Soft, really easy to clean, and they blend your makeup really well, which is nice. So I actually don't have any primers that I recommend in my list here. I've used a lot of primers. I do really like the Refine one. However, I don't know if I recommend it just because I do feel like it kind of breaks me out. So I don't want to put it out there and recommend it for people and then it's going to break someone out. So it's good for priming your skin. Maybe if you're not acne prone, you might like it, but if you are oily, acne prone, it might break you out, so just be careful with that. Okay, moving on to complexion. I do want to start with foundations first. Now I put it in quotations because I don't really wear like foundation. I usually stick to skin tints just because I feel like foundations always look cakey on me no matter what I do. Now I did talk about this one in my last video. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint. This has a really nice finish. It's so glowy and sits on the face so well. However, if you're acne prone, it might break you out, so again, be careful. If you're not acne prone, you'll probably really like this, especially if you're dry. This is the most beautiful like dewy finish, so I feel like if you're dry, you'll love this. Now for my acne prone girls, surprisingly, this MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Sheer Foundation is really good and has never broken me out. I've been using it for a long time. This is probably my second or third bottle of it. I was so surprised when I bought this that it didn't break me out because it's like a face and body product, which usually is like, I would stay away from that because the body is obviously not as sensitive as the face, so I would just assume that the formulation would be like not really catered towards the face, but this foundation is really nice. I'm just popping in as I'm editing this video. They don't have this product at Sephora anymore. They do have this foundation, which I might try next because it seems the most similar to the Studio Radiance one, but yeah, they just don't have it anymore at Sephora. So for concealer, I actually only have one to recommend. Now I do love the Hourglass concealer, but like, I don't know, girls. I don't know if it's worth the price. Like, I feel like there is a cheaper alternative that works just as well. I just haven't found it yet. I do really like the Hourglass concealer. I do purchase it pretty much every time I run out of it. I think I've gone through like 2 or 3 of them. So I guess I kind of do recommend it, but like, I don't think it's really worth the price. Like, I don't think it needs to be as expensive as it is, but if you want to spend the money, it's a good concealer. So yeah, the other one I do recommend is the NARS little pot concealer here. I did touch on this on my last makeup video too. I find it's like a pretty good match for me, but again, it does look like slightly orangey on my skin tone, so that's the the one reason why I don't love it. If this was a perfect shade match, I think the formulation would be like immaculate. Next, we're gonna go in with powders. So for the face, I love the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I have the pure like white shade, and then I also have the like skin tone shade. This I find is a little dark for me personally. Like I can't use it under my eyes because it's just too dark. So that's why I do like the white shade, and then I just kind of end up using the white shade everywhere because it is translucent. I don't find that this breaks me out personally. I do use it under my eyes. I use it on the face as well, and for both it's really nice. Then I have my Huda Beauty Easy Bake. As you can see, I'm a big fan of this. I've probably gone through like 2 or 3 of these big ones, and I just recently started buying the minis just to fit in my makeup bag, and I really do love a mini product, I can't lie. I feel like if you're sensitive to fragrances, your skin might not love this. My skin is okay with this. Again, I pretty much only use it under my eyes. I don't really set the face with this. I use it mostly under my eyes, sometimes in my T-zone. The only thing I don't like about these is the fragrance does kind of burn my eyes. I am prone to like watery eyes to begin with, but I think this product makes it worse because the fragrance is so strong. It does always make my eyes water, which is just amazing. I'm gonna touch on a couple powders that I absolutely do not recommend. I hate the Laura Mercier powder. I don't know why everybody loves it. I hate it. The Hourglass powders, I find them to be like literally so thin and finely milled that they don't do anything. Like they're just too thin that they don't even like set your makeup. Maybe if you don't have oily skin you might like it, or if you wear like really natural makeup you might like it, but I don't like it for a full beat, and I don't like it for oily skin because it does nothing. Who else can I hate on today? I feel like there's more powders that I hate, but I can't think right now. My blush category is never ending. I have so many blushes, and I have tried so many blushes. First off, my blushes that I recommend the absolute most are the Rhode cream blushes. These get a lot of hate, and I am here to stop that. Stop the Rhode blush hate, okay? These are amazing. These sit really well underneath makeup, over makeup, with no makeup. They are literally just amazing. I honestly don't know why people say they're not long lasting. They're extremely long lasting on me, whether I set them or whether I don't. I love them. They're so good. The color payoff is amazing. They're not too pigmented. They're really creamy, really blendable. They sit so well on top of powders, which is so surprising for like such a creamy formula like this. I have the shades Sprinkle and Tan Line, so if you're super pale like me, you might like these. I think I'm gonna buy Piggy, which I think is the like super baby pink one. Okay, then we have the Westman Atelier. Now, I did kind of talk about these in my last video too. I have so many of their blushes. I have Doo Doo. That sounds kind of crazy, but it's like D-O-U. Coquette and Pop It. Pop It is like really, really bright pink. I don't really use it as much, but even though it is so bright, it's really blendable and it's not like intimidating. Doo Doo is the, is it Dodo? I'm gonna say Dodo. I feel like it's Dodo, but I don't know. It's kind of spelled Doo Doo. Anyways, Dodo is like a really nice like berry shade, I would say. And Coquette is like this little baby like peachy kind of pink. It's really cute. So since we're talking about cream blushes, I thought I would touch on these two. This one I have is the HD Skin Face Essentials palette, and then this one is the HD Skin Blush and Glow palette. So this one has more like contour shades in it, and then I think this one is just mostly like blushes. The formulations on these creams are amazing. See, I've hit pan on so many of the shades. They're so good. I honestly haven't used these in such a long time, and I don't know why. Like, I used to use this like every single day. They're really comparable to the Rhode blushes for me. I think the blendability and the like color payoff is pretty comparable, but I love how this has like so many different shades. So I feel like if you're like a makeup artist, or if you do other people's makeup, you might really like this because it has like a range of shades. If it's just for you, the only reason like I don't love it is because there's some of these shades that just don't really get used for me. But I have used all the blushes, even the darker ones. I think they work really well on my skin. And then in terms of the Blush and Glow palette, this one is the one I use like a lot less. I did get it like after the other one, so maybe that's why. They have some really nice like pinky blushes here, and then these are like the highlighty type of shades, which are also really nice. I just personally don't use them as much because I don't really venture out to different colors. I use like the same products all the time, so that's why I don't reach for it as much. But these are really, really worth it, and I would definitely pick these up. Okay, next up we have these MAC blushes, the Glow Play cushiony blushes. Obviously use this one a lot more. I've had this one for a lot longer than this one, but you can kind of see like you can push down on the product and it's like a putty. You can see like my fingerprint in there. It's like really interesting. I really like these blushes on top of powders because they are more of like a creamy formula. You can use them underneath as well, but I kind of like them as like a finishing product. They sit really well on top of powder and they kind of just add a little something to your makeup. Okay, moving on to powder blushes. There's only a couple that I recommend. So I know this product gets a lot of hate, and again, I talked about it in my last video. The Dior blush, the powder blush here, this is the shade 001 Pink. This gets so much hate. So many people say this doesn't show up on them, this doesn't last. I love this. I don't know if it's because I'm super pale so it just shows up on me, but this is like one of my favorite blushes ever. Once I run out, I will 100% be repurchasing. It also lasts a really long time. I've had it forever and I have not hit pan. This is the mirror, so that's not the pan. So our last powder blush we're gonna touch on is the Rare Beauty blushes. So these are a powder blush, but they do have more of like a shiny finish to them. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but they kind of have like a shimmer effect. I love these as a blush topper. I think when your blush is looking a little matte and you want a little more of a glow, these sit really well on top of blushes. I do recommend using these on a already set face. I don't love them on top of like a wet cream because I feel like they catch a little bit, but once your face is already set with powder, these sit really well on top of powders. Also, they're extremely pigmented, so you only need a tiny bit. Those are gonna last me forever. I don't think I'll ever have to repurchase them. Okay, and then I did want to touch on a couple blushes that I do not like and I do not recommend. Say liquid blushes. I have them somewhere in my house. I don't know where they are. I can't find them right now. I might have given them away to somebody. I really didn't like them on me. Another one I don't really recommend is the Patrick Ta. This is the like cream and powder duo. I really like the cream. I don't like the powder. So that's why I'm like, I don't really recommend this. Also, like the packaging is hard to open. Like, do you see how it's like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just don't really like the packaging and it always has fingerprints on it. It looks a mess. Like, I just don't recommend. It's just not my favorite. I also forgot to mention the Rare Beauty liquid blushes are really, really good and they'll last you forever. I have not repurchased since I bought my first one, like when they first came out. I just don't really reach for them anymore, but they are a really great product. Now I want to talk about highlighters. So there's a couple highlighters that I really like. Of course, the Rare Beauty highlight is gorgeous. It doesn't come off like too glittery, which I really hate. It is shimmery. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it is shimmery, but it's more natural and it doesn't look like a 2016 highlighter. This kind of blends out a lot better than a traditional highlighter does. Then I have this Benefit Cookie highlighter. I have had this in my collection I don't even know how long. I would say this is really comparable to the Rare Beauty one. It's like very natural with like just that little bit of shimmer. I think I'm wearing the Rare Beauty one on my cheeks, and then I think I'm wearing on my nose the Benefit one. So you can kind of see like they're both pretty comparable, pretty natural. I have the shade Cookie, like I said. This is more of like a champagne-y kind of color. And then the Rare Beauty one, I have an Enlighten, which is more of like a white highlight. So whichever shade you prefer, I would say pick one of them based on that. You don't really need both. Okay, then I do have one cream highlighter that I forgot to mention, my Westman Atelier. This is my favorite product. I have a fresh one as well, but I'm just showing you my like used up one so you can see how much I love it. This is the most natural, beautiful highlighter. It just makes you look wet and dewy. It doesn't have a shimmer or a glitter to it. This one I recommend over powder, not under powder. I think under powder it's a little sticky, so the powder doesn't really sit well on top of it. This does sit well on top of powder. So okay, next we have bronzer. For cream bronzer or cream contour, I really like the Westman Atelier. Olay I would say is more of like a contour shade for me, and then Biscuit I would say is more of like a bronzer shade. I like it as like contour slash bronzer because it's a little more warm. These blend out beautifully. You can apply them right on the skin, you can apply them on a brush and then on the skin. I haven't really used these over powder, so I can't really speak on that, but underneath powder, love these. They're so pretty. And then I do have one more cream bronzer to recommend. Now, I don't know if they market this as like a cream bronzer. It just says skin enhancer. whatever that means. This is the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer. I really like this product over top of powder. I have used it under powder too. It is nice as like a cream bronzer, but over top of powder, I feel like this gives you a really nice finish. If you have no powder on and you're just doing creams, this is also really nice. The only thing I have to say about this is it does move around pretty easily. So if you touch your face a lot, you might not love this, and it will transfer onto your fingers for sure. Okay, we're about halfway through the makeup, so almost there. I think I'm pretty much done with the face makeup products. I'm gonna move on to lips now. As you guys can see, I have quite a hefty collection of the Charlotte Tilbury lip liners. These are probably like my all-time favorite lip liner. I love them so much. I have like multiple copies of the same shades. There's so many. I really like the shades Love Chop and also Pillow Talk. I think there's two versions of Pillow Talk. I like both of them. I also have Iconic Nude, which is really nice. I think Iconic Nude is nice if you want a little bit more on the cooler side. I think every other shade she has is a little bit on the warmer side. They last a really long time. They're really easy to work with. Creamy, but not too creamy to the point where they like move around. It literally will stay put exactly where you put it. Next for lip liner, I have the Refi lip liner. I have a couple more shades of these. I just can't find them. They're probably in my purse somewhere. Taupe and Fawn are probably two of my favorite shades. I also have the shade Blush, which I really like. Okay, then I have my lip stain that I really love, the Huda Beauty in Soft Nude. I wear this like pretty much every day now. I love it. It's so good. I wish they had a lighter shade just because this is a bit dark on me and this is pretty much the lightest one that isn't like a pink color. I do like a more nude lip, not like a pink lip. I need them to come out with more shades. Huda, if you're listening. Now, a lip stain I don't recommend would be the Summer Fridays lip stain. I don't know if this is supposed to be a more natural finish. If it is, they definitely did their big one because you can barely see it. And it also lasts like 5 minutes, which is so annoying because I feel like a lip stain is something you can't really apply on top of like lip gloss or lip liner. Like you have to have this as your first step. So if it doesn't last, like there's no point. Like you can't reapply it. Definitely do not pick that up. Okay, and then I want to touch on some lip glosses and like lip balms that I really love. I have the Rhode Peptide Lip Tints. I really like these. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the other Rhode lip product that's like in the gray packaging. I also really like that one. I just prefer a little bit of pigment, so that's why I prefer these ones. I am a sucker for cute packaging, and this is literally the cutest packaging ever, and I love like the rounded tip. Like everything is just perfect. Haley, I need 100. Next, I have these Dior glosses. I also have the Dior lip oil, which I do love. The only thing I find with those is the color always changes on me, which is so weird because it's not marketed as like a color changing product. Like it kind of acts like one of those like pH glosses on me. It always turns bright pink, which is so weird. I bought multiple of the clear lip oils and they've all turned bright pink on me, regardless of like if I've used a lip liner, if I haven't. It's the weirdest thing. Like they just change colors on me and it's so weird. But if they didn't change colors, I would recommend them. But because they do, I would maybe go for these instead. They're not sticky at all, which is really nice. But they last. Like you don't have to reapply it too often. Another lip product I really love is the Laneige lip balms. I absolutely love them. I repurchased them so many times in so many different flavors. They don't last the longest, but I really like how like lightweight they are and how they don't like dry out my lips. Same with the lip mask. I put it on like every night before bed. 100% recommend. Another lip gloss I really love is the Refi lip gloss. I have the shades Rosewood and I also have the clear one. I think it comes in like a pack of 2 for the minis, which I really like. I love like a mini product, you guys know. So I only have one product to recommend for the eyes because I don't really wear eye makeup. Guys, once I get my upper bleph, once I get my eyelid surgery one of these days, then I will start trying some new eye stuff, okay? Because right now I don't really have a lot of eyelid to work with. I have very hooded eyes. All I have to recommend is my favorite mascara, the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay mascara. Again, hate the name but love the product. This is so good if you love waterproof mascara. Your mascara will not budge, it will not smudge, it will not flake, it will not bleed. It is just so good and your lashes will stay up and curled all night long. I've repurchased this like 50 times. I always buy the mini because I feel like mascaras dry out really fast, so there's no point in buying the big one because it's just kind of a waste. I have a couple mascaras that I have tried recently that I don't recommend. The Lancome Lash Idol or Idol, don't like it. The applicator is so weird. The inside part that you would think you would put on your eyes has like no bristles. I don't know, it's just the weirdest applicator. I don't like it. It's like clumpy. Don't recommend. I also tried the Ilia mascara. This is just a little too natural for me. It didn't really do anything for my lashes. I would not repurchase. And then I also tried the Too Faced Ribbon Wrapped Lash. This is actually not bad. I keep this one in my purse in case I'm like in dire need of a mascara. I don't hate it, but I just don't think I would repurchase. Okay, let's talk about setting sprays next. First, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is hands down one of the best setting sprays. It does what a finishing spray and a setting spray should do, but all in one product. So this is definitely my favorite. If I can only have one setting spray, it would be this one. It would be this one. And then I recently tried the Stay City Set Lightweight Setting Spray. At first I wasn't so sure about this. I feel like I didn't know if it was really doing anything, but the more I use it, the more I like love it. I think I'm gonna repurchase it. I like this throughout my makeup routine. So if I feel like I'm looking a little dry like halfway through, I'll spray this on and it just gives like a nice dewy finish. I feel like this is more of like a finishing spray than like a setting spray. But I feel like maybe if you have a dry skin, you'll really like this, even for setting your makeup. But I just really like the finish. I like it throughout my makeup routine. I think I'm going to repurchase it. And then this is not really like a setting spray. This is more of like a skincare product, but I guess because it's a spray, I'll just include it in here. This is the Inkey List Hydro Surge Dewy Face Mist. I don't really use this with makeup. I usually use this on a bare face. If you're looking for a product that is like just strictly hydrating, like strictly a hydrating face spray, no other skin benefits, no makeup benefits, no nothing, this is really nice and like affordable. It doesn't break me out. It just gives you like a nice little boost of hydration. I will kind of use this sometimes before I apply like a hyaluronic acid or on top of my like skincare routine if I just want a little bit more moisture. I will say there are some medical grade products that I like more than this for a hydrating face spray, but if you're looking to just get into like hydrating face sprays and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is a nice like cheap alternative to like an actual like really good medical grade face spray. I do have a few like skincare slash like body care products that I want to recommend. The Sol de Janeiro. This is the Delicia Drench Body Butter. They have quite a few like body lotions. This one is probably like the thickest formula. It just gives your skin like a nice hydrated glow without being too like oily. It does absorb into the skin and then you just feel nice and like quenched without being like greasy. I also really love the Fenty body moisturizers. I have tried pretty much every scent of it. The pink one, which is vanilla, is my favorite. It does have a little bit of a sparkle and it is a little bit oily, but it does blend into the skin really nice. I actually have the jumbo one. Okay, then we're gonna go on to like a couple other body products. I have this Topicals Exfoliating Body Serum. So this is, like it says, a body serum. So you put it on dry skin. It has retinol, lactic acid, urea, squalane. So it does have those hydrating ingredients in there. So it's not gonna be too drying on the skin, but it also does exfoliate quite nicely. I think I got these with my like Sephora points. I would buy this again with my points. I just wouldn't buy it with my money, if that makes sense. And then this is the KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub from First Aid Beauty. I really like this on like my underarms or my like bikini area. It's really good for like ingrowns, I find. I don't really have KP on my body, which is like those little bumps on the back of your arms. I have friends that have the like keratosis pilaris and they say they didn't really love it for this, but I really like this for just general like body exfoliation. It's a little more strong than like anything else I've tried, so if you want like a good like scrub, this is good. Again, I only really use this on like my underarms and like bikini area. Sometimes my legs, if they're like just looking a little like textured after you shave or whatever. If they have this available for points, which they usually do, definitely buy it. I think that's all of the body products that we have. I do have perfumes to go through still and a little bit of hair stuff, so let's get into it. First, I have this Way Detox Shampoo. I actually love this product. I've repurchased this a few times. I've also got it for my points, so look out for it. They usually have it for like 100 or 500 points depending on the size, I think. I don't use this every single time I wash my hair because it can be a bit like stripping, but if you use like a lot of product in your hair, if you have curly hair and you have like a bunch of like stuff in it and you just feel like 2 washes is just like not enough. I like this. I'll do like 1 shampoo and then I'll use the detox one, and it just makes your hair feel like squeaky clean, like squeaky clean. I love the Color Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Treatment Spray for frizzy hair. And every time I do a blowout on my hair, that is how I get it to be like silky smooth and straight, because I do have naturally curly hair. So if I don't use this product, I find that it doesn't sit as like nice, smooth and straight as it does with this product. I also really like this product. This is the Bumble and Bumble Invisible Oil Heat Protectant Leave-In Conditioner Primer. It's basically a heat protectant. I always use that as my heat protectant. I've used so many heat protectants and I feel like they don't do anything, but this one I actually feel like makes my hair feel softer and prevents damage. I actually got this like unintentionally. My friend received like someone else's Sephora package and she had that in there, and she didn't like it, so she gave it to me, and I actually love it, so I definitely recommend it. Okay, another product, this is like kind of miscellaneous and really weird, but it's like kind of on like the shampoo wave. This is the Way Pet Shampoo. I've had it for a really long time. I have 2 cats and I don't really like give my cat a bath that often, but when I do, I use this. It just makes him smell so good, and like he doesn't have any reaction to it, like his skin doesn't react to it, and he does have like allergies and he reacts fine to this, and this smells so good, and he just smells like the yummiest fur baby ever, and I love it. Okay, lastly, let's talk about perfume. I'm only going to mention a few perfumes in this video because I do want to make a dedicated like perfume collection video slash like recommendations, but because the sale is on, I feel like it would be an injustice to not mention a few of my favorites. Honestly, I love like all the Sol de Janeiro fragrances. For the price point, these are so good. Even though they're like considered like a body mist, I feel like they do kind of have like perfumey qualities, especially depending on which one you pick. This is my absolute favorite, number 71. I have 62, I have 39, I have 48 or something. I don't know, I have a lot of them, but I'll touch on them when I do make that perfume video. But I would say any of these Sol de Janeiro fragrances that match like the scent profile you're going for, buy it, because they last quite a while. They smell so good, and the projection is like pretty good considering they're like in like the $30 price range. I want to gatekeep this so bad, but I feel like I just can't. So this is the Dolce by Rosie Jane perfume oil. I also have the actual perfume, and they're both so good, guys. Oh my god. This is like my signature scent. I wear this all the time, and it layers so well with so many of my perfumes, so many of my fragrances that I have. I will say, I bought the perfume oil again recently, and I think they changed the formulation because this is my old one and the smell is so much stronger than the new one that I bought. The perfume is literally my favorite perfume of all time. It's chocolatey, vanilla-y, yummy, like super gourmand. It is my favorite scent of all time, and I want to gatekeep it so bad, but I will share it with you guys reluctantly. Next, I have this Nest Balinese Coconut Perfume Oil. This one I have had in the past and I didn't love it, but I recently repurchased it and I'm like obsessed with it. It smells so good. It lasts a really long time. The projection is great. My light keeps dying, so I'm gonna do the rest of the video without it because I just don't have time to charge it. Next, I have the Maison Louis Marie. This is the Eau de Parfum number 13. This is a lot more of like a sophisticated scent, I would say. If you're looking for something a little different, a little more grown and mature smelling, this is really, really nice. Lastly, I just want to recommend the Burberry Goddess. I feel like this is one perfume that I always go back to. I have like the mini version, and I also have like the little mini spray. I've never bought the full bottle, I don't think, but for some reason I kind of prefer the little like one that you dab on the skin. For some reason with this scent, I feel like it just like works better. It's such a nice perfume. I feel like this works on like everybody. It smells so good. It lasts long. It's like mature. It's grown. It's just really yummy. Okay, and because my light died, I'm gonna like really quickly run through some of the things I absolutely do not recommend. First, the Stay Concealer, trash, doesn't do anything, don't recommend. Second, this Way Fragrance Mist in Ibiza. I love the like coconutty scent. I can't remember the name, I'll put it on the screen. So good. The Ibiza scent, disgusting. So strong and musky, and it's just like overwhelming and it gives me a headache. I wish I never received that. This might be a hot take, but the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm, They're good, but I would not repurchase and I would not waste my money. Given the fact that they're $32, I would spend my $32 on the Rhode lippies before I would buy these. Next is the Topical Slick Salve Mint Lip Balm. I did really like this at first, and then the more I wore it, I just find that it kind of made me feel a bit sick. It gets like all in your mouth for some reason. Like, it's not one of those lip glosses that stays put. It's like sticky and it moves, so it ends up like getting in your mouth, and I just like don't like it. I feel bad because I did really like it at first, and then I just, ugh, it's just nasty now. I just don't wear it. Next, I have the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum Ginseng plus Retinol. This did absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. Just a waste of time. Next, I have these Summer Fridays Gentle Reset Daily Exfoliating Pads. These aren't terrible, but I just don't really feel like they do anything. I honestly, like, I have so many of them that I just don't reach for. I don't think it's worth the money. I thought the ingredients looked good, but I feel like maybe the formulation is just not ideal. It just like really does nothing. Next, I have the Tatcha the Kiss You Lip Mask. This is not bad, but I don't know. I've had this for a couple years now, and like I just don't reach for it. It's like too pigmented to be like a lip mask. It moves around too easily. It applies kind of patchy. I just don't like this. Like it's not bad. I just wouldn't repurchase. Those are my Sephora sale recommendations. Let me know if you did buy anything based off of my recommendation. That literally makes my day. Like, I love to know that I influence you to buy or not buy something. But yeah, let me know, guys. Thanks for watching.